My story begins not in a boardroom, but in the Bayview housing projects of Brooklyn, New York. Life there was a stark contrast to the warm, inviting spaces I would later strive to create. It was a place of concrete and struggle, a place where dreams often felt distant. We lived in a small apartment, and the world outside could be tough. I saw firsthand the daily challenges faced by hard-working families. These early experiences, though difficult, planted seeds of understanding and empathy within me. They taught me about resilience and about the deep human need for dignity and a sense of belonging, lessons that would shape my entire life and career in profound ways. I remember vividly the day my father, a truck driver and a proud, hard-working man, broke his leg on the job. He had no health insurance, no workers' compensation, nothing to fall back on. The system as it was failed him. Our family faced immense financial and emotional strain. This was a formative experience for me. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the loss of dignity, the feeling of being invisible. I saw the toll it took on my parents and felt a deep sense of injustice. This memory became a driving force, a promise I made to myself that if I ever had the chance, I would build a different kind of company, one that valued its people above all else. Growing up, I often felt like I was on the other side of the tracks. I saw the opportunities that others had, the comforts, the sense of security, and I yearned for something more. It wasn't about material wealth necessarily, but about creating a life with purpose and respect. This feeling fueled a powerful ambition within me, not just to escape my circumstances, but to build something meaningful. It instilled in me a belief that everyone, regardless of their background, deserves a chance to succeed and to be treated with fairness. This yearning for a better way, for a more compassionate approach, became a quiet but persistent motivator throughout my youth and into my adult life. My early dreams were not specifically about coffee. I didn't even know what a good cup of coffee tasted like back then, but I knew I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to create an environment where people felt seen, heard, and valued. The understanding of what it felt like to be overlooked, to be part of a family struggling to make ends meet, stayed with me. It became a foundational element of my personal philosophy. This deep-seated desire to ensure others didn't experience that same sense of helplessness or indignity would later guide many of my most important decisions in business, long before the aroma of roasted coffee beans filled my senses and changed my path forever. Before coffee captured my imagination, I was working for a Swedish company called Hammerplast, selling kitchen equipment and housewares. It was a good job, and I was learning a lot about sales and marketing. One of our clients was a small coffee bean retailer in Seattle named Starbucks Coffee, Tea and Spice. They were ordering an unusual number of our drip coffee makers. I was intrigued. What was it about this little company in the Pacific Northwest that was selling so many of these machines? My curiosity was piqued, and I knew I had to learn more about them. This small detail, this unusual order pattern, was the first step on a journey I could never have predicted at the time. In 1981, I decided to fly to Seattle to meet the founders of Starbucks. The moment I walked into their original store in Pike Place Market, something changed for me. The aroma of freshly roasted coffee beans was intoxicating, but it was more than just the smell. It was the passion of the founders, Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, and Gordon Vauca, for quality coffee. It was the knowledge of the staff, the reverence for the beans, the theater of it all. I saw a community being formed around coffee. I had never experienced anything like it. This wasn't just a store selling a commodity. It was an experience, a revelation. It felt like home. A year later, on a buying trip to Milan, Italy, I had another epiphany. I walked into an Italian espresso bar and was captivated. I saw the ritual, the community, the personal connection between the barista and the customer. It was a third place between home and work, a welcoming environment where people could gather and connect. I realized that Starbucks was selling beans, but it could be so much more. It could bring this Italian espresso bar culture to America. I rushed back to Seattle, eager to share my vision with the Starbucks founders. Initially, they were hesitant. Their focus was on being great coffee roasters, not on running cafes. Despite their initial reluctance, I was convinced this was the future. I believed so strongly in the idea of creating these community coffee houses that I decided to leave Starbucks in 1985 to start my own company, Il Giornale. It was a difficult decision, filled with uncertainty. My wife Sherry was pregnant with our first child, and I was leaving a secure job for a dream. We raised the money, opened our first stores, and tried to replicate that Italian coffee bar experience. It was challenging, but my belief never wavered. Then, in 1987, an opportunity arose. The original Starbucks founders decided to sell their retail operations. We seized the moment, acquired Starbucks, and began the journey of transforming it into the company it is today. Once we acquired Starbucks, my vision was clear: to transform it from a small chain of coffee bean stores into a national network of European-style coffee houses. We wanted to create that third place, a comfortable, inviting space where people could gather, relax, and connect over a great cup of coffee. This wasn't just about selling coffee, it was about selling an experience. We focused on the quality of the coffee, the ambience of the stores, and the connection between our baristas and our customers. We aimed to build a company that balanced profitability with a social conscience, a company that our partners, as we call our employees, could be proud to work for. From the very beginning, I knew that our partners were the key to our success. Remembering my father's struggles, I was determined to build a company that treated its employees with respect and dignity. In 1988, we made a groundbreaking decision to offer comprehensive health benefits to all employees, including part-timers working at least 20 hours a week. This was unheard of at the time, especially for a small, growing company. A few years later, in 1991, we introduced Beanstalk, our employee stock option plan. I wanted our partners to share in the financial success of the company, to be true partners in every sense of the word. These decisions were driven by values, not just by business strategy. Our commitment extended beyond our partners to the quality of our coffee and our ethical sourcing practices. We understood that a great cup of coffee starts with great beans, sourced responsibly. We invested in relationships with coffee farmers around the world, promoting sustainable farming practices. Inside our stores, we meticulously trained our baristas to craft the perfect beverage and to create a welcoming atmosphere for every customer. The experience, the feeling of connection, was just as important as the coffee itself. We believed that if we focused on these core principles, growth and profitability would follow, and they did beyond our wildest dreams. However, rapid growth brought its own set of challenges. By 2007 and 2008, I felt we had lost some of our soul, that the relentless pursuit of expansion had diluted the Starbucks experience. I returned as CEO in 2008 during a difficult economic climate. We had to make tough decisions, including closing underperforming stores. But more importantly, we took a bold step. We closed all our United States stores for an afternoon for retraining. It was a statement that we were recommitting to our core values, to quality, and to the customer experience. It was about reaffirming who we were and what we stood for, ensuring that Starbucks remained a place of warmth and connection. One of the most profound lessons I've learned is to believe in people and treat them with respect and dignity. This principle stems directly from my childhood and witnessing my father's experience. When we decided to offer health insurance and stock options, Beanstalk to our partners, even part-time employees, many in the business world thought we were crazy. But I knew it was the right thing to do. Our partners are the face of Starbucks. They create the experience for our customers. Investing in them isn't just a cost, it's an investment in our brand, our culture, and our collective success. Happy, valued partners create happy customers and a stronger company. Another crucial lesson is to never forget your roots and always stay true to your core values. My experiences in the Brooklyn projects instilled in me a desire to build a different kind of company, one with a conscience. As Starbucks grew, there were countless pressures to compromise on quality, to cut corners, or to dilute our employee benefits for the sake of short-term profits. But we largely resisted these temptations because our values were our compass. For example, maintaining the quality of our coffee and the in-store experience, even during periods of rapid expansion or economic downturn, was paramount. This commitment to our founding principles has been essential to our enduring success and brand loyalty. Furthermore, I believe deeply in innovating with heart and purpose, not just for profit. The initial vision for Starbucks was to create a third place, an oasis for community and connection. This was an innovation driven by a human need, not just a market opportunity. Over the years, we've continued to innovate with our partners and communities in mind, from ethical sourcing programs like cafe practices to initiatives like the Starbucks College Achievement Plan, offering partners a pathway to a bachelor's degree. These initiatives are born from a genuine desire to make a positive impact, to use our scale for good, and to ensure our business contributes more than just shareholder value. My journey, from the housing projects of Brooklyn to leading a global company, has taught me that challenges can be powerful catalysts for growth and change. No matter where you start in life, your experiences, even the difficult ones, can shape your dreams and fuel your determination. The key is to pour your heart into what you do, to believe in your vision, and to build something that reflects your values. Obstacles will inevitably arise, but with resilience, passion, and a commitment to doing the right thing, it is possible to overcome them and create something truly meaningful. Learn from every experience and never stop dreaming.